Okay, on to Sub-Saharan Africa now. So all of the area in the orange color is Sub-Saharan Africa. Sub meaning below, Saharan this is where the Saharan desert is up here. So Sub-Saharan is anything that is below the Saharan desert in Africa. So all of this area here, and the white, the very light color here, the white, this is North Africa. So this is all the region that we just talked about. But today we're going to start off here in the Belgian Congo. So think back to our walkabout that we did in class. There were two men that you either read a quote about or read a quote from or you read about. It was Dr. Livingstone and Henry Stanley. Well, Dr. Livingstone was a Scottish missionary who had traveled deep into Central Africa with a group of Africans to spread Christianity. Years passed by, years and years passed by, and nobody had heard from Dr. Livingstone. And so most people thought that he was dead. Well, an American newspaper ended up hiring Henry Stanley to go and find Dr. Livingstone. And in 1871, Mr. Stanley found Dr. Livingstone on the shores of Lake Tanganyika. And this is where his very famous quote, Mr. Stanley's quote, Dr. Livingstone, I presume. Okay, so you can see Livingstone is on the right and Stanley is on the left here, okay, as they are greeting each other. So Stanley ended up deciding to continue to stay in Africa. Livingstone ended up dying just a couple years later in 1873. He was about 60 years old when he died. So Stanley decided to stay, and he wanted to explore the land even more, but more importantly, he wanted to trace the course of the Congo River. So he wanted to see exactly where this river went. He wanted to map it out, okay? Well, this piqued the interest of the King of Belgium, King Leopold II, okay? So King Leopold II, in case you cannot tell by the quote, he was not the nicest guy, and I'm not going to give you all the details about him. I will tell you that he treated Africans horribly, okay? He commissioned Stanley to help him gain land in the Congo. So for 3 years, Stanley talked to village chiefs, got them to sign treaties that gave King Leopold control of the land of the Congo River Valley, okay? Now, the Congo ended up becoming basically a private plantation for King Leopold II. He brutally exploited Africans, forcing them to collect the sap from rubber trees, and he used the rubber to get wealthy. So he treated Native Africans as though they were slaves. Even though they were not technically slaves, he treated them as though they were. And his treatment of these Africans got worse as time went on. Okay, now in your notes, there are video questions. There is a link posted to Classroom for a video that I would like for you to watch about the Belgian Congo. It's less than 10 minutes long, and it gives you more details about King Leopold, shows you many more photographs than what I could show you. And it talks about his treatment of the Congolese, okay? There are 5 questions that you should be able to answer after you've watched the video, and this will count as a homework grade, so please take care of this before I check your C notes next class. So when you think of Sub-Saharan Africa, I want you to remember 3 things: King Leopold II, collecting rubber, and poor treatment of natives, okay? As a result of Leopold's cruel treatment, humanitarians around the world eventually demanded that something be done about him, that his treatment of these people was just wrong and it needed to stop. So in 1908, okay, just a little over 100 years ago, the Belgian government took over the plantation and Leopold no longer controlled the colony. As a result, the country of Zaire, or as it is known today, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, was created. Okay, that wraps up the second video for day 2. Third video is going to cover South Africa.